Macros, Mindset, and Muscles.
I'm Coach James.
And I'm Coach Brittany.
We're here to give you the truth about health and fitness.
No gimmicks, no bullshit, just facts. What's up, Phoenix fam? Coach Brittany here.
And Coach James.
Oh my God, please don't.
That's my radio voice.
That's not a good radio voice.
You don't like that? It's like the late night.
It's not Sunday Night Slow Jams.
Yeah. So, welcome to Macros, Mindset, and Muscles. This is Coach James coming to you live.
That's why nobody likes you.
Turn the volume up and the bedroom lights down.
Turn it down.
Oh my gosh.
We have an awesome topic today. It's actually requested by a member in our Facebook community, Kinsey. And
hey, Kinsey.
She wanted us to talk about what it means to support your partner in this journey and how you can both be on a journey with differing goals, but still supporting each other.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be like. That would be so nice. I really feel like...
Maybe today's not the best day for us to be recording this episode, but we're gonna give it a go anyways. We've been really loving today.
Yeah, it's gonna be raw and it's gonna be real.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you want to get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay.
Do you have some PowerPoints or you got some topics?
Any other time I have PowerPoints, you don't want to see my PowerPoint.
You know you don't want me to see them because then I end up ruining the podcast.
Because you'll be reading point 1 and then you go off on a tangent and then before you know it, you skip ahead to point 10 and then we have to backtrack and go through 2 through 9 just to get back to 10 again.
I'll cover the whole podcast in 15 seconds.
Anyways, we're here today talking about supportive partners because all jokes aside, I do have a supportive partner. And all jokes aside, James has the best, most supportive partner ever.
When do I get to meet them? Where are they at?
You said meet him, so you're assuming that this other partner is a male?
Meet them. Maybe I don't know who I said, what I said.
All right.
But all jokes aside, I have the best supportive partner. And it's been, I don't know where I would be in this journey if I didn't have you.
I don't know where I would be if I didn't have you. I know we both have been bro.
I'm sorry. I got the giggles so bad now.
Get it out of your system so we can have a serious conversation here.
Okay, but I got to tell everybody, right before this podcast started, she told me I had no identity. I have no identity.
You're giving them a sentence without zero context.
You don't need context.
No, you do need context. Why did I say you have zero identity? In reference to what?
I was playing with some audio sounds on TikTok with a video from the gym today. And she's like, is that another workout video? And I was like, yeah, I'm just playing around with some different audios to hear what it sounds like. And she was just talking shit about me making a workout video because I'm a coach and I should be working on posting coaching content. And she's not wrong.
Exactly.
Still would have been a cool video.
Yeah, but it will sound just like every other workout video that you post.
And they're all awesome.
Motivational,
life-changing.
If I don't do this today, tomorrow will never come.
There is no tomorrow.
Without today.
Without today, there's no tomorrow. Tomorrow won't. Oh my gosh. Okay.
No,
all right,
but really, you are that is your thing, posting workout videos with motivational speeches and sounds on it, and it's cool. It's great. If somebody wants to get inspired, but I'm trying to inspire people to hire you as a coach, and I want you to inspire people to want to hire you as a coach, and you working out with a motivational sound.
It is. It's a bad, not bad habit. It's a habit I need to get out of because. Me and motivational sounds and videos go way back to when I first started my journey. And I would get up in the morning because I used to be very negative and I wanted to change my mindset and change everything. So when I would get up in the morning, I would just immediately put headphones on and start listening to different motivational speeches and talks and things like that. So I don't know. So I like them. but I'll cut back.
I get that too, though, because like we both have used social media as kind of like a journal to like changing our life. You know, for you, like getting into fitness and like posting about your fitness journey, it helped you grow in that journey, helped you stay sober. Just like my journey, you know, helped me, you know, stay fit, like stay active in my journey. And it was like a journal to me. Like I would post it to share with other people because it was like an way to express myself.
It was.
Which is exactly what social media is. But when you are trying, it's hard when you're trying to balance so many identities. Like we're more than just, you know, people that work out. Like we are coaches and we are parents and we are all these things. But if you start posting about all the other things and you don't focus on, you know, your business aspect of it, like as a coach, sometimes it can detract from that. And I'm not saying like don't ever post about yourself. Like you should absolutely post about yourself and you should be real and raw and stuff. But posting another workout video with a motivational sound doesn't really show who you are.
Yeah, and it used to be, like you said, it was like my expression, what kind of whatever I was going through at the time. And a lot back then, there was a lot of like negative emotions and stuff that while I started the gym. Anyway, long story short, I'll cut back. I'll chill out a little bit. I'm still gonna listen to him.
I know you're still gonna listen to him. We're all still gonna listen to him.
I'll throw one out there every now and then, just keep you aggravated.
Just to keep me aggravated.
Just a little bit.
Perfect. That's marriage.
Marriage.
By the way, we're married now.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who don't follow us on social media and have no idea who we are in real life, we got married in November.
Yeah. Well, we didn't really like announce it a whole lot. You know, it was a private ceremony in a private setting. We rolled up at a lake and we had picked out and just our closest loved ones there. And boom, ding dong, she said I did.
And, you know, we got married.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And she regrets it.
No, I don't.
Just kidding.
Never. Anyways.
Oh, yeah. Back on subject.
Really back to the topic. Not that this didn't all relate to the topic, but talking about goals, you know, having a supportive partner. I know we've both been in relationships and stuff before where our partner wasn't the most supportive person and they didn't necessarily want us to excel in things, you know,
yeah,
and didn't necessarily bring out the best in us. So finding yourself in that journey to like, one, want the best for yourself, and then finding somebody that also wants the best for you and tries to bring out the best in you instead of the worst. Like, I feel like for us, like we're mutually supportive of our goals. We don't compete with each other. It's not a competition to see who's better than the other. We're both trying to be better together. We're both just trying to, you know, both hit our goals. Like,
yeah.
You know, if your goal is to grow and mine is to not grow, you know, like we can still do that and be supportive and be a part of each other's, you know, process.
Yeah, I agree.
I know for us, like in prep, obviously we're two completely different body types. You know, James is very tall. He's 6'2". I mean, he's a bigger guy. Like he's, like what, 220 right now, you know, and this is off season. I'm a shorter girl. I'm 5'3". I'm 165 right now. And, you know, in prep, like obviously the goal is to get lean, and to lose body fat on both ends, but our workout programs are like completely different.
Diets too.
Yeah. And diets, you know, James still eats quite a bit most of the way through prep, whereas I get pretty low pretty quick. I also have lots of cardio where he doesn't. And then like workouts, we're literally on polar opposites there. So he'll have a lot more upper body days because of like when he's competing the division he competes in. And for me, like I'll have mostly lower body days because of the division I compete in. So it's rare that we could come together like in prep and actually do a full workout together. But we did still make that happen every so often when the days would align. But even if we weren't doing the exact same workout, we were still in the gym together. And, between sets, we'd cheer each other on, come over, little ass smack, kiss,
That's right.
and get back to the next set. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're working out together, but not together.
Yeah.
Just knowing that your presence is there, it makes me want to push harder.
Suffering together.
Yeah. And I think that's the best way to put a prep is you suffer together, because a lot of people don't actually do well going through prep with their significant other.
A lot of people, a lot of divorces,
Yeah.
a lot of relationships end, jobs end. Anyway.
I think with us, it brought us closer together because of the mutual suffering. We had this goal, and because we did it together, I wasn't sitting there eating a burger and fries while you were eating egg whites and asparagus. If we were at that point, we were both eating egg whites and asparagus for dinner, it wasn't one was enjoying something that the other wasn't having.
Yeah.
So I think that worked really well for us. Now there were times where you would get a free meal and I wouldn't.
But in that sense, though, because I knew you were not suffering, but you were dieting hard, I wasn't going to sit here and eat it in front of you.
Yeah.
So when it did happen, and yes, I did like it, but I didn't get to really enjoy it because I was doing it alone, and I knew you were still suffering. So I would go have that away. I would eat it away from you because I didn't want to be like, oh, look at my burger, look at these fries or whatever, because I know that would suck. Well, we've both seen it. We've both been through it. It's not a cool feeling.
Yeah. When you're going through prep and you're doing something really hard, and obviously prep is a choice. Nobody makes you prep. So, why do people around you have to suffer if you're choosing to suffer? But, if your partner has a goal to do a bodybuilding prep, why would you not want to do your best to be the best supportive partner so that they can do well also? And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're suffering with them, but you're also not rubbing it in their face.
Yeah. And I think anybody that starts a fitness journey, there's this when you start, and if you have a significant other or something, and if they're not already doing those similar things, now you're doing this on your own and this person's not doing it, and it can feel kind of lonely, and maybe you're wanting this other person to maybe join you, and maybe you can find different ways to do that. Maybe y'all, they may not want to work out with you in the gym, but maybe y'all can take walks together, just trying to include them into what you're doing, make them part of it, just to bring you two closer, because I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, it's a hard thing too, though.
It's hard to explain.
For me, when I started my health and fitness journey, I started changing the way that I ate, and it wasn't I would cook all the meals, obviously, but my other my ex-husband, we're on good terms, we're friends, so it's okay, I can bring this up. But he didn't really want to eat the way that I was eating, and it took him a while to get on board with the lifestyle change. And even once it did, I was in the gym regularly, and he wasn't, and that's okay. This is my lifestyle choice. This is how I chose to live my life. But the gym became a big part of my life, and it made me feel good. It made me feel strong. It made me feel empowered. And I feel like it helped teach me discipline in other areas of my life, and it helped me grow in other areas of my life, what I learned in the gym. So because of that, because we were so different at that point, you can grow apart.
Yeah. And I guess that's where I was getting to.
And I think that's why we grew so close together, because before, we just had different lifestyle, our partners had different lifestyles before.
Yeah.
And it just didn't mesh well.
Yeah. I mean, people just grow apart. You have different ambitions, different goals, different mindset. And over time, you just move apart. And you and I, we discuss our goals daily and what we want to do today, tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years. Like we're thinking way down the line, and like we always are on the same page when it comes to business and even physical goals, and even taking time off from our physical goals. Like we want to be aligned because
So we can make the most of it.
we can make the most of it. We can enjoy it, or we can suffer together through it, and we can prepare for it. And you know,
Yeah. And even so, like my goal this year, like my big goal this year is to run a marathon.
yeah,
Like I'm knocking that off my bucket list. Like that's something that I was going to do in 2020. And then all the quarantine stuff happened. They canceled big in person races. The race that I was signed up to run the marathon for, it got canceled and they only did a virtual option. And no way was I doing that. So I put it on hold. I started bodybuilding and I'm taking a break from bodybuilding. And I want to do that. Before I hit 40, I want to run a marathon. So, um, for you, like I know
yeah,
there's no way in hell.
yeah. Like it would be cool to say that I ran a marathon, and that would be an accomplishment. Not saying it wouldn't. I would love that. Would be a great accomplishment. I don't want to dedicate myself to running like that. It's not something that I enjoy. Not something I think about. Uh, Running was all like hard running was always a punishment in every sport that I ever played as a kid. Like it's just not something I ever enjoyed. So because you are working toward that marathon goal, and I don't want to do a show without you, I decided that I'm just going to set a goal for my birthday and just work toward being in great shape for my 40th birthday this year. And it's just a personal thing. It's you don't get an award for it other than the birthday party that I won't have.
That you won't have.
I mean, we're not going to throw a party. I'd love a steak. That'd
Well,
be good.
you're gonna get a steak.
Yeah, that's all I want. You.
But
So
with your goal being, 40th, again, like we sit down, we talk about our goals often and things that we'd like to do, and he's like, okay, I think I want to be in really good shape for my birthday this summer. And like, cool, because we can actually still do that together.
yeah,
Because I'm in a place now where my calories have been high enough that I can afford to cut,
yeah,
and be in a better place with my body composition for the marathon towards the end of the year. Like if we cut going
yeah.
into the summer.
And you know, it can only work out well. Like you're going to be training for the marathon. I'll be working on this. Um, after my birthday, I'll plan on being in pretty good shape. If we decide down the road that we want to start prepping for a show one day, whatever. If not, whatever. We'll do it together, whatever it is. Like, but this just I operate better when I have something to work toward, whether it's a date, a show, a strength goal, uh, a weight goal, anything. If I need something to aim for, it just keeps me, I don't know, focused.
I agree with that. So for people who are listening that have spouses and maybe they have different goals, like maybe they say, maybe the man is trying to put on muscle and he wants to like gain, he wants to bulk up a little bit, but the woman is trying to lose fat. What would you what kind of advice would you give to the man that would help him with his partner and like her goals while still being able to focus on his?
I don't know. I mean,
Totally put you on the spot.
you did because like I don't know the context of it. Like in where, like in the gym? Are we talking about in the kitchen? Or are we?
Well, I mean, the journey isn't exclusive. Like it takes all of it.
Be supportive. Be supportive. Like
So, like, what if someone's like, "Hey, you guys have different goals. Like, how do you work out together when you have different goals?"
I mean, the training's always the same.
Training,
Training's always
yeah,
going to be the same. Like workouts are going to be the same. Like if somebody's going to be doing more cardio and their calories may be lower, but the workouts are always going to be the same. So y'all can still work out together, still go to the gym together. You can still cook together. So the food's the same. The amount of food is different. The volume.
yeah.
So the food scale is going to look different, but you can still eat the same foods. You can still eat for the most part. You can still work out together, and just be supportive of each other. Spend as much time together as you can.
I think in the gym too is a good way to spend time together because you get to see your partner push in a way that you don't really get to see in any other aspects of life. Um, it can just like bring your partner like into a new light, you know. I know it's not, and this doesn't go either way. Like this works for both men and women, but sometimes we forget how hard our partners work in everyday life. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you work out of the house as a man, as a woman, maybe you're a stay-at-home dad. Like I think we forget how hard each other works. So when you're in the gym, my personal opinion, like I love watching like you kill it in the gym. Like I love watching you go in and lift up some weights that are really challenging and really like force you to push outside of your comfort zone because I get to see you work hard on you. It's like it's not, you know, you working hard at work for somebody else. It's you working hard in the gym for you to be a stronger man, for you to be a better man, you know, which helps like the family also.
Yeah, and that was the first thing. Our first time we worked out together. I mean, I'll never forget. Like I was at loss for words. Didn't know what to say because seeing you push yourself that hard, and I mean, not afraid to go for a heavier weight and to really push it. I mean, into failure. I mean, and it did nothing but like I was like, oh my god, I love her. But like,
Yeah, I remember those little baby ass weights that you tried to give me for upper
yeah,
body.
I try to give her some dumbbells, and she's like, I need heavier ones, and she beasted up. But and all I did was I mean, I just in that moment instantly I saw I was like, this woman is stronger than I could ever imagine. I mean, look at her. I mean, she's pushing beyond what I even thought she could do. I mean, it's impressive. Like I don't know how to explain that. I don't have words for that yet. Maybe circle back.
Circle back.
Circle back. But it's motivating. And in that moment, like I'm pushing myself, and then all of a sudden, watching you really challenge yourself and push yourself. All it did was, I mean, it affected me immediately to want to push myself even harder. And like we weren't in competition. We were like, oh, I can do this more than you. I mean, it wasn't anything like that. And I don't know, it's just the experience of wanting you to help you be better, and you helping and wanting me to improve myself, like selflessly. Like it's a beautiful thing. That's why I like to do.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome too because like it honestly helps you build like an attraction too.
Oh
Like
yeah,
for I know for me personally, like I love like I said, I love watching you in the gym and you know, obviously like I'm a coach and a trainer and like I know all the muscle groups and stuff like that. And I love watching your muscles specifically work. Like
all right.
so watching, you know, doing this together, it can
As a
help bring
couple,
you closer as a couple too, because now you're working on yourselves to better yourselves for, you know, each other and your kids and your families and just for life in general. And it just brings a new like outlook to your relationship. And it's something that you're doing together instead of separately. Because when you think about it, like as couples, especially, you know, couples who work out of the house, you spend most of your time apart,
hmm
you know, apart or sleeping.
yeah. And it's something that you two can have together. Like for this one little moment in the day, or however many days a week that y'all do this together, you're separating it from everything, from your job, from the rest of the family. You're cutting everything off, and you're together, just y'all two, working on being better people, physically and as a couple. Y'all, I believe you would be better. Be better. I can't speak right now.
That's okay.
It will just bring you closer and learn more about each other and appreciate each other, and you can encourage each other to just be the best that y'all can be. And you get this endorphins from these workouts and these feel good endorphins as you leave and you're appreciating. And I mean, it's a date. You can call it a date if you want to. That's how we date.
Yep. We're not typical daters. We don't go out on Friday nights or Saturday nights. Like we have gym dates and maybe we go out to lunch afterwards and we have a
Yeah.
meal. Sometimes it may be a free meal. Sometimes it's a meal that fits our macros.
Yeah. But here you are again doing something else together. And it does nothing but strengthen a relationship. And I 100% believe that.
And I think again, like that has a lot to do with just not being in competition with each other, but just supporting each other and the goals.
Being a team.
Being a team, you know, like when, like you said, like when we're in the gym and we're working out and like I do a really hard set, you know, you may not be feeling it, but because you saw me push on a really hard set or vice versa, it's like, okay, well, if they're doing it, like I can do it too. I know that they don't really want to be here either, but they're pushing hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to push hard. I'm going to give this everything I got. And, you know, that's all that you can do.
Man, and seeing you, I remember just watching you or spotting you and you going for a PR that you've gone for many times and hadn't gotten. And then, and when you get it, like it means so, like I get emotional.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about that PR that you stole from me, though? I think the listeners would love to hear about that.
I think the mic's cutting out. You're going through a tunnel. Tune in next week.
Yeah, you got a little happy hands there.
Anyway. Okay, she went for a PR one time on bench. She got stuck in this one spot. It wasn't moving. I thought it would move, was going back down, so I put hands on it. My mistake.
You lifted it up. You did more than put hands on it. You took it away from me.
Yeah.
Well, and this was back when we were just friends training.
Yeah. Well, you know what? She proved me wrong. She got it. We celebrated. You know what? I hope she gets every bench press for the rest of her life because, you know.
You'll never live that down.
I mean, well, I'm just going to have to stand there and watch. I'll be like, you got this.
I'm like, no, I'm dying. Help.
Oh, it's a trick. It's a trick. There's a camera somewhere. But no, and watching you, there was a big deadlift. There was a big squats. There's a big bench press. And I celebrated and it got happier watching you succeed and hit those than any of mine. Ever. Like 10,000 times more. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember watching you over and over and over and over and over and over months, and then boom. And like, yeah, I cried. Grown man cry.
And you know, lifting weights is a good way to like reduce stress, like get stress out too, like lifting heavy, especially like some heavy ass deadlifts.
Yeah.
Like there's been times where, you know, we've had our spiffs or whatever, and that's when I get my PRs. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking show him.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
See,
I'll get this PR.
See, like I didn't even really want to get into it with you back then, but I was like, she needs extra motivation to hit that PR. So I was like,
yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
Those don't happen very often anymore.
Yeah, I don't lift for PRs 99.9% of the time anymore.
No.
I just lift to be strong and stable and support my...
But in the same way, like watching you go in the garage and run and get your steps in when I know that you're tired and you may or may not just be getting over being sick, and I know that you feel like shit. I know you do. And despite that, you're still getting it done. You know, when it would be so easy to make up. You could pick 20 different excuses and they would all be valid. But you don't.
Because I'm a boss.
True.
No, I mean, there are times like, you know, especially over the last year and a half, you know, since our show.
But then there's also some times when you're wanting to do something and I do step up and I do say, don't. No, you need to rest. Hey, you need to take it's okay.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that to me very often.
No, I don't.
I'm pretty good at listening to my body. Just like being sick
are.
and, you know, my goal in January has been to like run a mile every day. It's not a fast mile. It's been slow miles. Like my heart rate has barely gotten elevated, but it was one of my goals. And, you know, for most people, I'd be like, no, don't do that. But I also know my body. I know my heart rate, you know, and I know that I can do this very slowly and still allow my body to recover. But if it was so bad, like obviously if I was like puking or something like that,
Oh
like
yeah,
I
nope.
wouldn't do it,
Uh,
you know?
no, I mean you are very good about listening to your body, and I mean we were always in communication about, hey, this is aching, hey, this is tight, hey, this is bothering me, hey, sore, or hey, I feel great, hey, I feel strong. So we keep tabs on each other on like how we're doing. And I don't know.
I think it helps too though because we're so communicative about like how we feel. It helps us like when the other is struggling. Like if I know like you don't feel really good, like last week when you came home sick from work, and like I had the humidifier like
Oh
plugged
my
up and
gosh, that
all
was
that
so
stuff.
great. So
Like
yeah,
you
I
know,
walked in and the bed was all clean. Everything, the house was all clean. You could smell it, even though I could barely smell. I could smell it. I go in the bathroom. She's got the medicine all set out on the counter, and the counter's clean. And she's got this humidifier going with the Vic stuff, and she had me all set up. And I was circling the drain. I was feeling bad.
and then he gave it to me.
I did. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I,
So, in terms of like your goals and stuff, right? Coming back to this, because we've kind of gone off on a little tangent. We're talking about how like you can still have different goals and do the same workout because really it's going to come down to nutrition.
yeah.
We didn't really hop over to that side of it, but there's been plenty of times where I've had a married couple in here where I train them in person and they may have different goals, but it's the nutrition that looks different,
Yeah.
or maybe the rep ranges are different, like maybe, if I have someone trying to lose fat, and this isn't exclusive, like it could work either way, but it also just depends on the person, their limitations, what they're capable of. Like if they're
Experience.
capable of pushing heavy enough weights to do a lower rep range, like I'm going to go with that 90% of the time. And if they're not, like if maybe they don't have as much experience lifting or maybe their form still needs work, like I'm probably going to pick a higher rep range,
Yeah.
with a lower weight for them to work with. But both are beneficial and both can help you get stronger as long as you're picking weights appropriate for the rep range.
Yeah.
It all comes down to nutrition.
And even right now, I mean, we have a couple. Um, you're coaching Coach Jesse, and I have her husband, and for a while they were on the same kind of goal, but because she's doing a show now, they're on two opposite ends. They're getting a little. It's starting to play out. Or with food is a little different,
Yeah.
because we're on a different plan. But it's to don't focus on the differences. Focus on what you have in common. Like you said, the training, the food's going to be different. Maybe the cardio is different. Getting to the gym and being there together, like you don't even have to do the same workout. Like you said, you and I, you're lower body, I'm upper body mostly. We're still in there together. Like we got there together. We're
Checking in with each
checking in
other.
throughout the thing. Like, how you doing? Sometimes I may need a little extra motivation. I may be struggling. She says what she has to say to get me there.
Yeah. I got to make sure he's not over there posting thirst traps in the mirror and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, in my hoodie and long pants. Jeez.
All right, kind of looping back around to this topic here and talking about, what does it look like, if you have, two people with two different goals, a man with versus a woman, like how do you tailor it to be different but still do it together? Well, when it comes to like a man versus a woman, like a lot of women are afraid to lift like their partner because they're afraid that they'll get bulky. Like you pick up a weight and bam, you look like a dude. Like it doesn't happen like that. Like muscle mass does not grow that fast. It takes years and years of hard work and performance enhancing drugs to build that level of muscle mass for a woman. And I think that's kind of the big misconception that like a lot of women get. Like they're afraid to lift the heavier weights with their partners because, they don't want to get quote unquote bulky.
Right. And there's hormonal differences in the two. And also to put on large amounts of mass. Like you mentioned a few of the things, but that's also a diet difference. I mean, that is pushing lots of calories over a long period of time intentionally. Yeah, I mean, 100% intentional to try and get bulky.
And it's more than even just that, because like you can't just push calories, push calories, push calories, and then bam, you're jacked. Like
No,
it's cycles, it's periods of cutting and bulking, bulking without getting the body fat too high, and then you're cutting back to reduce the body fat again while still having muscle. And then
years.
you bulk again, and you cut again, and you bulk again, and you cut again. Maybe you stay at maintenance for a while, and then you cut, and then you bulk. Like it is a lot and lot of hard work over a long period of time to get bulky like a man. And, in the first 6 months, 6 to 12 months of a weightlifting journey, you have the potential to put on the most muscle mass. But even then, like, you're not talking like
Bodybuilder.
yeah, bodybuilder, like, gonna look like a dude in a year. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, it takes time. And after that, like, you're not putting on much muscle every month. Like, we're talking like maybe grams of
Yeah.
muscle at best.
It takes years and years and years of intentional effort to put on decent amount of muscle, and it's not something that just accidentally happened. Like, oh man, you know what? I ate it too much last week, and now my arms are too big. Like,
Yeah.
it just not happen like
It
that.
would be cool if it did.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. I would be massive.
I wouldn't have to work my glutes so hard.
Right? But no, the training, the exercises are the same. It just depending on what your actual goal is. Like yours is the more lower body, mine's more upper body. Whatever the person with their whatever their individual needs are, they may have different workouts, but the actual exercises are going to be the same.
Yeah.
And there's not the big difference between a woman and a man training.
Yeah, I really don't think there is either. Like when it comes to lifting weights, like you should be lifting weights that challenge you. And you're lifting weights to lift weights. You're not lifting weights to do cardio, like.
Or like the women's should use lighter weights and more reps. Like that's
Yeah,
all bullshit.
It is. Like I'm not saying that more weights, more reps, lighter weights doesn't have its place, but you also shouldn't be doing this. Like your heart rate should not be super high lifting weights like the whole time.
No.
Like it's not cardio. It is you're lifting weights.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big mistake too. A lot of women get into like weightlifting classes, and the class is really just a cardio session with weights.
Right.
If you want to get the max benefits from weightlifting, like you need to have the appropriate amount of rest periods, and maybe working out with your partner is what you need to get that appropriate rest periods. Because if you're goofing off with your partner, before you know it, bam, rest timer goes off and it's time to work.
Yeah. Those group fitness, it's just activity. It's just movement. They do use some light weights, and I'm not saying you don't get some benefit from it, but mainly it's just a whole lot of cardio, increased heart rate, and like you said, I think more people get more out of just actually weightlifting, resistance training of some sort, or where you're resting in between so you get the most benefits out of it.
So working out with your partner might be the best option.
Yeah. They might slow you the fuck down when you've been going too fast, and you might need to take that little extra break so your heart rate comes all the way down before you push yourself again.
I agree. All right, wrapping things up here. This was a long episode, but I think it's important, to be a supportive partner. And I think it's easy to get so wrapped up in yourself sometimes that you forget that your partner has needs too, and that your partner's goals are just as important as yours.
Y'all are a team.
And you are a team, and you should want your partner to be healthy, just like you should want to be healthy for your partner. You want to live the longest, most active, fun life together. And that involves both of you taking care of yourselves and each other.
Yeah, when you win, I win. When I win,
we win.
We win.
Yeah.
Always.
So it's definitely a team effort. And, I don't want either one of us to be limited by our physical health, because we refuse to take care of ourselves. So it's important to me, and I know it's important to you, that we take care of ourselves
and each other
so that we can be the best for each other and for the kids and our future life that has yet to come. You got anything else to add to that?
No, this is a great episode, and I just highly encourage anybody. Like, this is could be a great thing for someone's relationship. Their partner may not be into this, or may just be waiting for an invite.
And one thing too I want to mention is, like, you can't force this
on
your partner either. We didn't talk about that, so this is going to be in a couple of minutes. But you can't force the lifestyle onto your partner. No matter how healthy you get, if your partner doesn't want it for themselves, you can't want it more for them. Like, they have to come to it on their own, or it'll never work, and they'll just end up resenting you for trying to force them into something they don't want to do.
Yeah. But there might be some middle ground too. They might, like I said earlier, like they may be, if you go out and you're getting your steps, they may want to go. Like, you don't have to make it like they're on a fitness journey.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to go walk with me?
Yeah.
There might be some kind of middle ground there, and then they may get into it too. They may not,
and if you do all the cooking, like,
yeah, you're in control.
I mean, you're in control of that. So, and it comes with your kids and stuff too. If you want your kids to be healthy, you got to lead by example.
You control 100% what those kids eat.
Yep, you control what groceries get put in the house. They'll whine and complain. It's not going to be easy. They're going to be like, I don't want this, blah, 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 blah. But
and then they'll learn to love it.
They will learn to love it. You just keep making things. And, eventually you'll find the things that they do love and they don't fight you on. And you'll probably make those more often because it's just easier not to fight them.
And that's fine.
But you can always work in more veggies. You can always work in more protein, with things that they do like.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be, a crazy health journey. It's the thing. People are like, oh my gosh, dieting. They get into these mindsets that, like, dieting is boring and bland and
no sodium, no nothing,
no fun things. But it's not like that. Like, dieting,
just like with everything with us, is no extremes.
Yeah, no extremes.
You don't have to do extremes.
It's what you make of it. Like, you can still have a fun, flavorful meal, that your family likes, while making it, nutrition a priority. And
you can make changes and they don't even notice it.
Yeah. With certain things. How much stuff do I make that I make macro friendly? Like, usually high in protein, lower in fat, moderate amount of carbs, Like, I make substitutions, and 9 times out of 10, nobody knows.
Nope. My belly stays full.
So,
no complaints here.
Don't force your partner. Don't try to force them. Meet them where they are and just do what you can to be a positive influence.
I'd say that's the best thing you can do. It's just almost like lead by example. And if they see you doing this and enjoying it and progressing, they may want that too.
And also, confidence is sexy. Like, nothing is more of a turn on to see your partner, like, feeling good about themselves.
Yeah. I agree
so
with that 100%.
If you start feeling good about yourself and your partner sees that you're feeling good about yourself, maybe they'll want to feel good about themselves too. But again, you can't force it. You can just do what you're doing, and hope that it inspires them.
I love it. It's a great episode.
It was a good episode. It was a fun one. It was an easy one to talk about.
Definitely.
Because I could talk about you all day.
I'll let you. Oh, this is great. I'm James.
And I'm Brittany.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Macros, Mindset, and Muscles. Until next time.
I'm James.
I'm Brittany. We're out.